Colonists have arrived on Mars. We've survived our very first cold snap, and it's time, finally, to start mining for rare metal. Now that those people are here, it's going to take a second, but we're going to do it anyway. Hello, Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Surviving Mars, Green Planet, in our Red Winter series. So, as I mentioned, we have colonists, finally. It is going to take a second for the mining operation to really get going. Number one, because the thing needs to be powered, and that's underway right now. We'll go up to speed 2 as we begin the episode here. But also because we only have our first 12 colonists, and that will remain that way until the founder stage has ended. So, Martian vegetation has been researched. I'll let you look at this really quickly in case you're not as familiar with the terraforming features, but it's saying that, one of our, 4 terraforming tiers has been unlocked thanks to our research progress. So we've also finished our research on low-G drive, which is very good. We finished an anomaly analysis, and that is going to give us, let's see, we're on the way to finishing Greenhouse Mars, and of course, low-G drive means faster drones. So drones and rovers move 20% faster. Good news there. So I let's see here. We've got Greenhouse Mars queued up, which is in the terraforming branch. We haven't quite unlocked anything as far as warming up the planet yet, or not warming up, but adding to the atmosphere. But it turns out, at least according to a few commenters, we can increase the temperature of Mars before we increase the atmosphere, which doesn't quite make sense to me, but there it is. So that's good as far as the gameplay of, the new expansion goes. So what I'm trying to decide is I've got 2 slots, and I kind of want to keep the research queue full just as a general principle. Not that it matters too terribly much, but let's see. Let's go ahead and give systematic training a click. And then how about water, oxygen, and power storage capacity expanded by 50%? That sounds like something really good to have queued up. And let me also remind myself how much more we are doing down here. Yeah. So this guy has another research anomaly to look into for sure. And we are scanning a whole bunch in this area just to see what else that drone might be able to do. Now, speaking of, or not drones, but rovers. Speaking of rovers, let's have a look around one more time. I've pretty much scoured this top area for any metal that can be picked up. So we're going to have to see what's down here. But for now, the RC transport doesn't have a lot to do. So let's go ahead and go to speed 2 and let things run for a little while. We have these sensor towers helping us in this area. Hopefully some metal will be here soon for that power node to be built. Okay, there it is. Let's go ahead and open up the second shift there so that there are more people working at different points of the day. Now, polymer-wise, do I want to do that there as well, or do I want to leave them? I don't know necessarily that I need to open those up until there are more jobs to speak of there. Yeah, we're producing a few machine parts now, not a lot. Hey, we're going to need polymers, that's for sure. I think perhaps I will open up the second shift on the polymer factory. It's really just going to, as we saw on the rare metals, probably spread the workers around, because there's only 12. But I think more shifts in general, at least for some of the buildings, will allow people to spread the way that they schedule themselves out a little bit more. So it should be generally beneficial. Holy crap, words. You can tell I've just gotten back from a weekend away. My lips aren't working. So, let's see. Water extractor's done there. What else can we do while we are waiting on the founder's stage? The main thing we're focused on at the moment is getting rare metals in. And of course, our power situation is pretty damn good at the moment. We have a lot stored up. This is, of course, turned off because we don't need it to be turned on at the moment. We have a new special project, Meteor Capture. And Phoenix number 1 is going to need to be refueled, but it's going to take a while for that refueling to happen. I don't think I'm going to shut off the exporting of rare metals. So we really just need Phoenix 1 to be refueled. And I have plenty of fuel, but just not here. So tell you what, let's have the RC transport at least do a little bit of work. I want you to load up on fuel, please, and bring some back. So for 9 sols and 10 hours, good. Greenhouse Mars is finished, which means we can take our next steps. Resources are low right now, but in a few hours the sun will be up and we'll be okay. We also have a lot of stored power. So as you can see, we have 500 stored power, and we're only losing, what are we looking at there? Look at the deficit. So 13.8, 14 per hour. Yeah, we're fine. All right, new anomaly found. Aha, new technology. All right, let's go ahead and have you come up here and check that out. And as I mentioned, we can take our next step here, and it might be time to go ahead and do so. Let's see how much of an investment it would be to build. Where are you? It's under terraforming. So this requires machine parts. I'm not thrilled that it requires machine parts. It also requires 10 to build. So our existing machine part stockpile would be cut in half just building one temperature boosting building. But the reason we want to have those down as soon as possible is we need this to 50% as soon as possible. Why? I'll show you why, in case you need a reminder. Cold waves end at 50%. We also have the possibility for liquid water at 25%, which is nice, but what we really want is that 50%, because we're still going to have a lot of cold waves to deal with in the near future. So let's see. That's really the main disaster threat that we're going to face. It's just the cold waves. What else can we build here? We still haven't finished the farm. We have, however, finished the Hydroponics Farm, so let's go ahead and get some stuff set up here. I think I might just focus on growing wheatgrass because it's fast and it guarantees food for folks, so we won't have a food shortage. Good yield, but slow growth. Requires less water. Okay, we'll do the leaf crops for one of these cycles here. So there's 3 cycles altogether, and they kind of go in order. As you can see, there's considerably more food. You know, just about between 5 and 6 times more food for leaf crops compared to wheatgrass, but you get these a lot faster. So it's, you're getting a bit of a trade-off there. And then the farm still needs more concrete to finish up. All right, so you're loaded up. Let's have you come unload here. The drones are bringing fuel slowly. You can see that there's some fuel on Phoenix number 1. So that rocket did, after all, just land with the colonists. But we can speed up its refueling and send it to go do things, or possibly just send it back to Earth. We have a lot of money. We could consider going ahead and ordering additional supplies just to make sure that we don't run out. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, given the windfall of money we've experienced in recent days. Looks like polymers are the main thing we need extra of, but also I'll never complain about extra machine parts and extra electronics. 30, 25, and 20. Leaving us with 285 million. Let's go ahead and launch that. Leave a little bit of extra money in our pockets. And that will justify the building of our terraforming project. So we can also start improving soil quality using the forestation plan, where we're going to take things in stages. Let's focus on temperature for now, because this requires, well, polymers we'll have plenty of. Once we have, kind of the production chain in place to support each of these buildings, we'll get them going. But for now, let's see. We'll have the GHG factory over here.
Milestone achieved.
There's a slight possibility, by the way, that the selection bug that you just saw, again, that I've mentioned in previous episodes, could be my mouse. I've got a pretty new mouse, so it would be the first time in a long time that a mouse this new and a mouse from this brand has a problem this soon. But I do have some clicking issues in Civilization 6 as well, so when it was pointed out that the selection issue I was having with drone hubs might be related to the mouse, I was like, you know what? That's not entirely hard to believe. So, take the criticism of the selection bug with a grain of salt. It might not be the game, to be fair. All right, so the science rover's on the way up to unlock those techs. We've had a lot of unlock anomalies already, so we've been very lucky with that. All right, so you should be refueling pretty quickly. One thing I can do as well soon-ish is have this partially flattened out. I could flatten this area to shorten the supply chain a bit so that drones could go more directly between. Now, ideally, what I would have done is use the terraforming feature. I'm still not completely used to having the terraforming features, to be completely honest, in the game. I'm just not adjusted to it. So what I could have done is just, rather than building a tunnel, I could have flattened this out. But one advantage, small advantage, but advantage nevertheless to building the tunnel is that I don't have to have piping and cables, all of which is susceptible to disasters. So it reduces the amount of stuff that I have to build to connect this stuff. There's kind of a jump here. It's not much of an advantage, but at least there's something. All right, so let's get I think I can send you on a project, can't I? By the way, we've researched autonomous sensors. That's good. That's going to be less maintenance on sensors. We're almost done with low-G hydrosynthesis, which will allow us to build polymer factories without ordering prefabs. Having the ability to build new drone hubs is something I'm going to want pretty soon, I have to say. All right, vegetation grows. Ooh, look at that. 40% faster. I like that. I can't remember. Is that new in the most recent update, in the Cernan update? I can't remember if that was there previously. I don't remember getting that in my previous playthrough. Might be new, might not. I also like the idea of getting the advanced drone drive research, so why don't we go ahead and add that to the queue. Drones work faster on landscaping projects, which I might be doing, again, to shorten the supply chain a bit. For now, the supply chain's okay. I mean, it's working. It's just they have to go like this. We might eventually do things to make them, just move directly between the two locations as soon as the resources are there. So, back to missions. What can we do? We can capture meteors, which will trigger a meteor shower that will yield some valuable resources, metals, rare metals, and anomalies. We can send engineers, but I don't think I want to do that just yet. Potentially launch, if we ordered the additional electronics, we could get 2 billion in funds if we launched the SETI satellite. I would just need to have the electronics to do it. So that might be something I consider once our additional supplies are here, which, by the way, they are. So let's go ahead and bring them down to to the original launch pad. I guess at that zoom, couldn't quite discern which launch pad I was pointing at. So we'll keep this rocket on hand for a special mission. This RC Explorer is looking into some nearby technologies for us. New trade route. So Paradox is proposing they're proposing to send food for 50 polymers. I'm going to end that transmission. That's not exactly something we have the ability to do right now. We need our polymers at the moment. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Paradox. I like you otherwise. We also don't have a trade landing pad set up yet, so I'll need to get that done relatively soon.
Anomaly analyzed.
All right, new techs available for research. Low-G engineering and micro-manufacturing. So let's see what we have. Yes, low-G engineering is medium and trigon domes. That's fantastic that we've unlocked that. And then the electronics factory will be buildable as well. That's good news. We won't have to order a prefab, although it's still really expensive to build. So I don't think I'll queue either of those up. I'll leave my research queue as it is. But we'll bring our research bot back home where it's a little safer. Now, why is our power situation quite this bad? Oh, wow. So out of nowhere, maybe because this thing has a big power draw? Yeah. So we're going to have to do additional power, and soon. I'm glad I spotted that. Mid-commentary. So I'm going to go ahead and just build a few more. All right, so hopefully that will be enough, and I will tell them to go ahead and put those at the top of their priority list so that those get built. This is only really happening because it's nighttime and our solar arrays are off. I think once these get built, things will be fine. But because this thing is now running, which is great to see, it's going to start slowly raising the temperature on Mars. Already is, in fact. And we can build more than one, of course. We just don't have the resources to sustain one yet.
Anomaly found.
Great. That's a breakthrough anomaly. Let's scan that. Hopefully that will be lucrative. All right. Solar panels are going online. And of course, during the day, there's more power draw from jobs that are being worked as well. So we might have to do a considerable amount to get power back up here. All right, low-G hydrosynthesis is finished. We're now working on systematic training, which should boost our research output a little bit for those researchers that are here anyway. Let's see how many there are. We haven't examined too much who's working and who's not. Yeah, I'm not sure what's causing that, either my mouse or the game, but let's open that second shift up in the research building so that there's more research throughout the day. We're not going to open the third shift because that's stressful for folks, but also now that the farm is done, they're still in the first round, but let's do wheat secondarily, but then soybeans to slowly boost the yield of this over time. We'll be able to research crops that can boost that much faster, just not just yet. And we can build something here. I won't think about that for now, but all right, now that we've landed, we have 36 electronics. Is it 30 that we need? I believe it is. Hang on, what's this? Game. Come on now. It's a little bit frustrating that this is not the selection bug. This is just... I'm starting to think the selection bug is the game because look, I'm trying to click on this thing here and it is not having it. Hang on, if I rotate Mars a little bit so I can click on the icon. There we go. See, now it's working fine. But it doesn't like it when I'm trying to click on the surface at the same time. Oh, wow. That's a lot of additional sponsor research. Holy cow. But I would need to order a lot of electronics. And it would use up a lot of my metal as well. I still don't have a reliable source of metal that's being mined, so I need to be careful with that. All right, so the SETI satellite I'm ready to do. Let's go ahead and send the expedition for Phoenix number 1. That is going to eat up my electronics. I don't care. It's worth it. However, I do want to make sure, because I don't have any stored power, I do want to make sure that I am in good shape power-wise. Because we still appear to be in a bit of a deficit. I may have to start doubling up solar panels on this side soon, which is fine. We could also do a large wind turbine at some point, but for now we're just going to extend the existing infrastructure. Let's do 2 more. It's going to eat up my machine parts and also really, I've just doubled my machine parts maintenance for my power infrastructure, so that's not the best thing in the world. Good. So we got an atomic accumulator prefab. That's great news for generating 100 power. And then, of course, that breakthrough is being researched right now, so maybe that'll be advantageous for us. All right, polymer blades. All right, we now have a power surplus. Polymer blades. There's that.
Meteor incoming.
Meteor where? Ooh, that's... Wait a minute. Okay, right there. I was looking at that first. That should be okay. All right, so we lost a drone, unfortunately. Got hit head on. Good. Another research anomaly. We'll queue that one up. Well, not really. Just wait for this one to be done. So we have 7 sols remaining. Sols. In 20 hours. So just about 8 sols, really.
Breakthrough discovered.
Hypersensitive photovoltaics. Oh, that's good. That is better solar arrays. Solar arrays, solar panels, and large solar panel power production increased by 100%. So I think I will go ahead and queue that up. We are going to have to outsource more research. Oh yeah, I've got to wait until it completely drains, though. Sadly. That's all right. We can do that. We're at 0.1%. As you can tell, this is going to take a while. We're going to need more of those running, but we just don't have the power infrastructure just yet. And I'm not going to rush it. Definitely not. All right, power-wise, we are in better shape. That prefab, I'm going to go ahead and use. We have an atomic accumulator. We are absolutely going to make use of it. I'll just queue it up, have it sit with the other accumulators here. Or maybe have it sit on the opposite side of them. I like the idea of it being right next to the chargers. So there's that. The drone recharging stations. So these drones are mostly avoiding the dust geyser here, which is nice. This guy's having a bit of a charge problem, but looks like he's taking care of it. All right, so you're ready to go ahead and head back, but do I maybe want to keep you for other projects? Once I have more colonists to send, I'll probably go for Project Savannah.
Sector scanned.
No resources in the most recent sector scan. How are we doing, though? We've scanned some of the, I guess, cliffside sectors, and there's no resources to speak of. There we go. And we'll keep going in that general direction. Now, I can send them to check out that anomaly that we unlocked not too long ago. All right, so let's go ahead and clear some of these notifications. We did lose a drone. That makes me sad. Can I break that drone down that was destroyed? I can. It'll give me 1 medal back. Oh, that's great. 1 medal. So exciting. All right, so it does seem like our water production is not quite up to snuff. And our food production is going to need some help as well. So what can we do water-wise? Let's see. We don't have any moisture vaporators. What I could do is build a second water extractor here, which I will go ahead and do to double our water output from this water hole. And I will make that high priority. I'm trying to pace myself, if it's not clear, with these new additions that I'm making, because I know that the cold snap is going to make things really difficult. Waiting for required pay. Okay, so you still haven't launched. It's the fuel mainly you're waiting for and the electronics. They're bringing it in. I can go to speed 3 and they'll arrive a little bit faster. I could definitely have the RC transport bring some electronics directly. Not that there's a ton of electronics stored over here. There really aren't. I think they're already mostly in motion. Yeah, they are. I think the drones already have them. They're just being carried right now. So give them a moment. That project should launch. Might not take too long. That's a lot of extra funding for us, which will come in quite handy.
Research complete.
All right, systematic training. That's good for our researchers. Storage compression is now going. Water, oxygen, and power storage capacity expanded by 50%.
Sector scanned.
Ha! Finally, more metal. Something else for you to do. Let's see. Ah, it's actually on the ramp of all places. That's kind of funny. Makes you wonder how that happens. All right, let's load those metals up and then bring them back. Won't take too long to get that done. Curious that there aren't more drones moving resources in between these two locations. Why is that?
Anomaly analyzed.
All right, so we've got 1,500 research there. Storage compression is almost done, so power storage and water storage capacity is going to increase once our water production has improved. That's really, really good given the cold snap situation that we're in, since we're in a northern location. If things go bad, you don't want to run out of either power or water. You don't ever want to run out of them, but when a cold snap happens, you have an immediate strain on those two resources above all else. So doubling our storage capacity and keeping the water tanks nice and unfrozen, nice and warm are major priorities. Don't have any concrete yet. Oh, that's why. So we need to allow concrete. Right. Are machine parts allowed at this? They are. All right. So now that concrete's allowed at this particular location, is concrete allowed here? No, it's not. Well, no wonder that thing hasn't been built yet. What else did I turn off here? No, that's fine. That's all that needs to be built out this way. So I just didn't realize that I don't think I had even intended to cut off concrete. But we fixed that now. Drones will start bringing it out that direction, hopefully. Concrete is allowed here. Guys? What you doing? Hang on. Let's take a look at our supply chain situation. Oh, I should probably unpause the game. That'll help. I was wondering why everything looked quite so still. Wow. That was a major derp moment. Happens to the best of us, I suppose. Okay, so this water extractor is now having resources brought to it pretty actively. Storage compression is done. Good news there. I'll need to keep close eye in the coming episodes on my machine parts, because that's going to start draining a little bit faster since we have increased our wind power production. I'm going to do what I can to keep everything. I might even shut down some power production when it's not needed, so that it's not sucking the maintenance stores dry. There we go. All right, water extractor's running. We are now gaining water again. That's a step in the right direction. And also, how's our project over here coming? Almost done. Needs one more metal. And Phoenix number 1 will be away. Looks like there it is. Go, go, go. All right, and on that note, now that that mission is on its way, that's going to bring down $2 billion in additional funding. So that was nice and productive, even though I just completely forgot to unpause the game when I made some production line changes over there. But now that that is underway, again, that'll bring in some money. We have 6 souls remaining until the founder stage has ended. And then once that's over, we get to bring people down kind of en masse. We still have, let's see, how many spaces in our apartments? Room for 12 more people in our first dome. And we're going to need to build additional domes again so that we can start moving towards colonizing the metals. The metal-rich areas of this map. The problem there is that those are cold spots. Another reason to focus on getting the temperature of Mars up as quickly as possible. Really? Due to low comfort. Okay, well, we have to manage comfort in the next episode as well. I didn't anticipate that, given that we have these services running, but I think what's happening is that these jobs are not filled because there aren't enough colonists to fill them. And so what's happening is that buildings like the space bar and the diner that should be comforting colonists are not doing so. And that sucks. Earthsick colonists is probably one of the most annoying things to me in surviving Mars, because you want your colonists to stay and tough it out, but people get Earthsick and they decide to leave, and the next time you land a rocket, they leave. So hopefully it'll stay at 2, but I'm going to guess it's not going to stay at 2, which means that when we bring 12 more people down, which we will, and we have additional applicants given the research that we completed not too long ago, when we bring 12 more people down, we're not going to have 24. We're going to have now 22, possibly more, as long as they stay Earthsick. And there's not going to be a way to get these Earthsick colonists not Earthsick. There's not going to be a way to fix that because, again, the only way to do it is to get those jobs filled. And, I mean, we could, I guess, prioritize those jobs, but then that might deprioritize the production of food or the production of additional research, which is not good. So this is really just kind of an issue that happens with the founder stage, and we'll try and suck it up once we have more colonists and more domes. We will do our best to keep the services running and make sure that doesn't continue to be a problem. For now, I'll stop this one here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.